Are you reevaluating your finances? If not, you should be. Hi, I'm Alex Shalakian, your Learn Mentor. The pandemic is one event that has completely changed the way we live our lives. Besides the devastating toll it has taken on many individuals that passed away from the virus, there is a path of financial destruction as millions of employers and employees found themselves out of business, out of a job, or working from home. As we slowly ease back into our new normal, this is a great time for you to take a moment and reevaluate your current financial situation. Here are a few tips on what to do. If you've never tracked your spending or haven't since the pandemic began, it's time to revisit this. Many of our spending habits have changed in the last year, and it would be in your best interest to sit down and track what you are now spending money on and start working towards creating a budget. If you are fortunate enough to still be working, you might discover that your transportation costs have come down since you are working from home. These extra funds can go towards saving or a financial goal. Next, you should start building up your emergency fund. In the past, financial planners have recommended 2 to 3 months worth of expenses to be saved in case of an emergency. Depending on the stability of your current job or company, it might be a good idea to increase your savings to 4 to 6 times your expenses if you are in a position to put money aside. Now that you're starting to save towards an emergency fund, I would recommend that you utilize a bucketing strategy for this money. Given you can have 4 to 6 months worth of expenses set aside, it wouldn't make financial sense to have all of that money sitting in a checking account. Using a 3-bucket approach, you would keep 1 to 2 months worth of expenses in your checking account. Once you have filled that bucket, your next bucket would consist of another 1 to 2 months worth of expenses in a high-yield savings account that can be easily accessible. After you have filled the second bucket, your last bucket will be comprised of 1 to 2 months worth of expenses in a liquid bond fund. This bucketing strategy should help you get a higher yield on your emergency fund than having it sit in your checking account. If you have any outstanding debts, use any possible extra cash flow to start paying down credit cards, loans, etc. Start attacking the debt with a higher rate and work your way down. This can be an opportunity for you to clean up your credit and raise your score. Think about how the pandemic has changed your priorities and create a list of all the things that are important to you. Ask yourself, have my priorities shifted during the pandemic, and how should my goals reflect these changes? Maybe you weren't interested in buying a home, but now that you are working remotely, you realize that living in a larger house is a priority. Or you were planning on retiring at 65 and have decided to move up the timeline and retire earlier at age 60. Whatever it may be, this is a good time to reflect and plan ahead. Make time and room in your budget for what's important to you, not just your bills. Maybe you felt like you were working long hours to climb the corporate ladder before the pandemic, and this came at the expense of your family time. When working on your budget, make sure you include items that align with your priorities as we just discussed. This is a chance for all of us to hit the reset button and start fresh. Reassess the risk in your portfolio and make sure it aligns with your current risk tolerance. Since the pandemic began, we have seen wild shifts in the markets. Though the market did quickly recover after the initial drop following the shutdowns, we are sitting at all-time highs in the US stock market. This might not be a bad opportunity to rebalance your portfolio and make sure it's aligned with your financial goals. If anything, we have learned in the last year how important our health truly is. The virus also made it pretty clear that those with health issues were easy targets. As part of your post-pandemic life, try to stick to healthier options in your daily routine. From eating better to exercising more, you have a chance to work towards a healthier future. If you find that your job doesn't make you excited at the end of the day, then it may be time to rethink your career path and consider a new position. I know quitting your job now might not seem like the best idea, but if you are not happy in your current role and can find a better opportunity, this might be the best time to make a switch. The pandemic has opened up a lot of new opportunities in different careers, so it doesn't hurt to see if any of these openings are right for you. Be sure to visit altruist.com/learn to learn more about finding an advisor and subscribe to get weekly videos and articles. And follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook to join the conversation.